I don't believe in God. I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
Put
keep
the
it real.
real and real talk. The God in God talk.
And that's a wrap. Today's Tuesday, September 6th, and you're listening to Real Talk on Godtalk, a podcast for people who skip church for brunch on Sundays. Hey, Yaya.
Hey, Truth. What's up, girl?
Good? What's good? Look, you're on the tizzy.
We back for the grand reopening. The grand reopening.
Yeah.
Opening.
Man, we cutting this ribbon too many times.
Wait, you watch P-Valley?
Yes.
Okay. I had to make sure because I'm like,
Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm actually doing good. I
love
don't know if listeners can hear a little bit of levity in my voice, a little bit of a weight lifted. Nah. I know last time we talked, your girl was down bad. Your girl was down bad. Give a little recap. I think what was it? It was the Lenten season.
Yes, it was. That's right. Yes.
I was spiraling. Like I won't say heavy depression, but it was getting pretty bad. I think last episode, to show you, it's been so long since we recorded the last episode. Yeah, last episode, I think I was, God had called me. I felt a calling. I was giving my testimony the last episode.
That's right, I remember that.
I felt a calling to give up the marijuanas for a little while. And I'm here on the other side, like 5-6 months later, saying that was God. Long story short, your girl got another career opportunity that definitely tested. And I was definitely sober because God put it on my heart.
What did God do it though?
I won't say randomly, nothing is random, but God put it on my heart to, give up that proclivity for some time.
Yeah.
And in that time in which I trusted God and said, all right, I'm gonna just give it up, cold turkey for a little while, little Lenten season, thing. And job offer came through and your girl is in a totally different space.
I love it.
Mentally, emotionally, financially, cha-ching.
Yeah. Hey, you know what they say? They say, when God could trust you with a little, he knows he could trust you with a lot. So
say that.
You
God, you done gave me a little.
Then he had to give you a lot,
I'm ready for a lot.
Yeah. So hey, well that's really good to hear. What else? I know it has been a minute. It has been a minute. We sorry, y'all. Like it just happened. Like,
it's like that. Listen.
It's life, but I think it's been good. Still working at my same job, but I've moved up within the company, so that's been really good.
Okay, big baller.
You know what I'm saying? With the cha-ching, So that's been really good. Yeah, things are just going good. I think everybody we're trying to get all back into the motion, post-COVID as much as we can, dealing with monkeypox,
COVID,
right? And then, every other thing, that's happening in the world. So I think, everybody, we're just trying to all do our best, trying to get back some sense of normalcy.
Basically.
But it's been good. I would say went on like first real vacation since like COVID, so that was nice. Had a I did a bougie up in Martha's Vineyard, so that was beautiful.
Okay, the bourgeoisie came to play.
You know what I'm saying? So it was cool. Yeah, it was beautiful. It was good, like good beach time. Walked around, got to know a new city. So it was really good. I had a blast. It was something I definitely needed. So very, very happy.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we hear
wait, so I saw a post from you today where you were saying about your journey of 100 books.
Oh,
right. So I had a question because I was like, why did you even begin that journey? Like, how did that start?
Okay, I'll give you all Real Talk fam a little bit of background. So during the pandemic, like it's not still a pandemic, but at the height of quarantine, you're in the house, you have nowhere to go, whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, like a lot of people, I started reading more, good binging TV, doing stuff. But as I started reading more, my mom had put me on to The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead, right?
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller. I don't know if that was the one that won the Pulitzer or whatever. I don't know. But it's a pretty popular book. And when I read it, it really just opened up the joy of reading and the ways in which words and imagination can really make you feel free. Yeah. And like I think for me it was just impactful because we're stuck in a house, we're in the pandemic. I'm reading about people gaining their freedom. Yeah. I'm reading about the power of actual literacy, like how important, what that means for Black people, what that means for me contemporarily today. And I was like, I can read. I like to read. So I just randomly picked up like a number 100. It's like, it's one of those things that I think I'm really doing for me, Nice. Like, it's not a SMART goal. Yeah. I don't have any date on it. I don't have any real time, but I'm going to read 100 books and I've been taking my time. I think I've been probably doing it, I guess, for a year now, like a year and change now. And I'm on book 32 or 33.
Oh, okay. Look at you. That's what's up. That's really cool. I mean, you must get to see not only obviously like learn so much, because you can learn so much from books, but also different writing styles.
Yeah, so my mom, my mommy bought me a Kindle, but she got me a Kindle. She put me on her little Audible thing. So I have like a lot of different modalities, I guess.
Yes.
And funny enough, I was totally being a snob at first, like, oh, I'm not gonna count, audiobooks.
Nah, you gotta count them, they count.
Listen, if you're getting information, you're reading a book, you're fine. But I actually, so the last book I read, which is, Truth and I had kind of talked about, what's some stuff we want to talk about on the show. And I was like, I got to talk about this. So everybody always want to talk about Will Smith. He slapped this guy at this guy, Chris Rock. He slapped him at the Oscars. Yeah, whatever. But his autobiography, 10 stars.
Really?
Not 5 stars, 10 stars. Will Smith appears to me to be one of the most emotionally aware, sensitive, sweet, curious, seeking celebrities that has ever like come into my sphere. Like he seems just so self-aware, like so self-aware. And so like the way I kind of interpreted his book was him kind of putting all his business on Front Street, like laying it all bare, like completely just vulnerably talking about all the shit that he's had to work through, probably in therapy, probably his spiritual guides with his family, whatever, and putting it all on Front Street so that we don't kind of have to do that work on the back end.
Gotcha.
Like we know his story, we know his family story, and now we can kind of like work through the principles that he's learned with his life as the guide, which I think is really cool.
Okay.
So long story short, he one of the stories that he tells, like, I don't think he's a practicing Buddhist per se. He might be, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a practicing Buddhist per se, but in the book, he retells a parable, right? So one of Buddha's parables. So, and it really had me thinking, I kind of wanted to ask you the question that came up.
Yeah.
So he tells a story of a man. So there's a guy, right? He's traveling along a path. So he's traveling, he's doing his thing, able to make it. He's walking, cool. He comes across like a river, an expanse of water. So he needs to cross this river. There's no bridge, there's no nothing. High currents, it's dangerous, whatever. He finds all the tools he needs, blood, sweat, and tears, builds a raft, right? Okay. So he builds this raft, he makes it across the dangerous river, gets to the other side. Ta-da! It should be a celebration, right?
Yeah.
But now he has this raft. He put mad work into this raft. And so he's like, I'm obviously going to take it with me, right? So I think he tries to like go through the jungle because the next part on the path is to get him to his final destination is the jungle.
Gotcha.
So he has to get through the jungle, whatever. He has a raft with him. and it's completely in the way. He's bumping against trees, it's weighing down on him.
Yeah.
And so he's kind of left with a question. Does he continue his journey with his raft? He worked hard on it. It served its purpose. It helped him to get through those times that he needed. Or does he let the raft go? Does he just leave it and leave all that work he put into it? Leave, all of that sense of safety that he has with the raft. What if he comes across another river? Now he's asked out. He don't have a raft.
For real.
And so basically, I think he meets up with the Buddha somehow. And the Buddha explains to him that Dharma is like a raft. It's useful for crossing over the river, but not necessarily good for holding on to. The same raft that you had that, took you across, it was useful, great, wonderful. It's not necessarily gonna serve that same function on the next part of your journey. And so sometimes you just gotta let shit go. Like you just have to let shit go.
Yeah. Got you.
And I think for Will Smith, I think he was using it for something like, I don't know. I think he might have had like a lot of bravado growing up because he felt like he had to. But that way of being like single-minded and having a lot of bravado, it doesn't serve him in his romantic relationship. It doesn't serve him in his family relationship. Like that single-minded, like I'm going to meet my goal type of, way of being. It doesn't serve him. And I think, don't quote me on this in the book, y'all read it yourself. You don't know what he's saying. But I think what I really took away from myself is like, I'm in a new place professionally. There's a lot of ways that I feel like insecure, kind of like, everybody's older than me. Everybody has a lot more career experience. I jumped up, y'all. And there are ways of being that I had in that old phase of life that aren't necessarily serving me here. I think even with real talk, and I think I'll probably go a little bit more into real talk. It's like my whole life, I have been a pretty personal person, like a private, I've talked to real talk listeners, my family. I've talked to y'all about this. I've talked to you about this truth. I've always been really private. It's served me. It's helped me. Like as a Black woman going through the world, you can't have people know your business because people are going to weaponize it and use it against you. I guess as a person going through the world, people weaponize that type of thing. But I think going into this next season for me, I feel a sense of like, that sense of like, I have to be private. I have to make sure everyth's together before I present it to anybody. I think it's time to let that go a little bit. Like I think I spent a lot of time wanting to make sure that like I'm worthy to talk about the Godtalk part.
Ooh.
Like I'm smart enough. I did enough research. I'm good enough. Like
you qualified enough to talk about it.
I'm ready to focus on the real talk part, like the real part where it's like it is what it is, kind of like I am who I am. It's either you fuck with me or you don't fuck with me.
Right, exactly. Because qualified or not, someone's gonna say you're qualified, someone else gonna say you're not. So it really don't matter. Like
the internet eats you up regardless.
Exactly. It really will. So it's like whoever needs to hear it, that's who we're doing this for. Everybody else, I mean, I think it says more about other people. If when other people try to like bring you down, I think it says more about them than about you,
basically. But it did lead me to really kind of start to think of like, what are some other rafts that we need to let go of? Like what are some things that we've been taking from kind of like that old part of our life? Whether it's us as individuals, societally, the church, whatever. Like, what are some things that served us in the past that, might have been good, but it's time to just let it go,
You know what? And I know I didn't mention this earlier when we were talking, but now that you say it like that, and I think I've had some time to like really dwell on it. I think one of the things that I probably should start letting go of is like my commitment issue with the church, right? So and I'll say this because like I do like audio at a church, right? Great church, everybody's super awesome, everybody's really cool. This is really the type of church that I wish there would be more of. They lead by example of like helping the community. It's a good, like, it's a sound word, they're doing what they got to do. And so it makes me proud to be a part, and to help it in that manner. But it's so funny because I had someone ask me like, oh, why haven't you become like a member of like this like church? And when
why haven't you become a member?
When I tell you that the commitment like in me, like it felt like my throat got crushed.
Oh, you was getting hot?
Yeah, I was like hot. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, no, you know what? My issue is that I have a commitment issue with the church. Mm-hmm. And so like I will go and visit anybody's church. I'll I'll help out, do whatever. But when it's that step to be a member, don't look for me, bro. I ain't gonna be there. Like it's just not it. I've always found a way of like getting out. And a lot of that is because of my experience with different churches and different religions and stuff like that. And so, but that is also not every church, right? And so I think I will work through that. Not saying like I'm going to become a member of a church, but I think at least being able to like not have that feeling of like that commitment issue with the church, being able to get rid of that, I think would be a really great start for me.
Snaps. Let me tell you something, girl. No, because I feel like you're bringing alive something that I'm struggling with too. And I imagine other people might be also, just like in terms of when it comes to religion and spirituality, what are the stories that we tell ourselves? Even the stories of hurt. Because the hurt that has come from the church is real. Yeah. Like, Church Girl came out. So y'all know, everybody listen to Beyonce. Beyonce got the world in a chokehold right now. And I feel like personally, I love the project. Mm-hmm. Thinking about Church Girls specifically. Yeah. It's not my favorite song sonically, personally. Yeah. Nobody asked me all this. I'm going in a different direction.
But we care.
It's not my favorite sound, but I do recognize how important, like it tapped a nerve. Yes. And it's especially a lot of Black women and Black queer men. Yeah. And gender non-binary, like, I want to be inclusive of everyone, but I feel like it really tapped a nerve of there has been hurt, unaddressed hurt, and I'm mad and I still live my life and I do my thing, and you're going to take it or you're not going to take it. And I think that has like kind of been pulled up in the cultural zeitgeist right now. Yeah. And how that shows up for me, I think, is not knowing what my religion is or spirituality is a part of the story that I've been telling myself for the past, maybe since midway into seminary until now. And I done graduated from seminary mad years ago now. Like feeling like, oh, I'm lost. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh, maybe Christianity, maybe not. That's been like such a story for me. Yeah. It's like as I move on and as I grow, if I'm gonna grow spiritually, at what point am I going to become to be anchored? And if anchored in what? Yeah. And if not Christianity, because y'all it's crazy how you could feel so like you're not over things, but like you have moved beyond things emotionally, but not necessarily. A couple of months, my grandma passed away. And, I've talked about my grandma so many times on this show. And her legacy in our relationship being so tied up in Christianity, in faith, in the word and God and whatever. Yeah. A lot of my identity and who I am as a spiritual person is like mixed up in her identity, I think. Right. And now that she has passed, I feel like I'm at an impasse. It's like, okay, Shakira, so the one person who's kind of like keeping you grounded in this life is now no longer in this culture, I guess, is no longer here on this plane. Yeah. And you don't have to hide from anybody. You don't have to flub the truth to anybody. If you want to say, I don't believe in God, I mean, I believe in God, but if you want to say I'm not a Christian, you can say that. Who gonna check you, boo? Right. But it's like, okay, but I'm a responsible adult, who feels agent in my life. Like I can become anchored in something. Right. So when am I going to let go of that story of, oh, I don't know, and say, I'm going to find out, and this is what I believe, and this is my spiritual path, and this is who I am.
Yeah, I totally get them, and I resonate with that so much, because I feel like that is a step that I took when I just decided that I was comfortable in my sexuality, right? And with that, saying that I am going to also follow this path of like that follow the example of Christ, right? When those two things finally met together in the same path, I had a conversation with God where I was like, I know what I've heard about you. I know what people say about, homosexuality. I get that. And I had that real moment with God where I was like, if you really don't love us like they say you do, then I need to know, because then this will decide where I'm going to go. But if that's not real, if that's not true, then show me. And that was it. I had that one conversation, and then I felt like my relationship got really real with God. That journey that I went on to really find out for myself, where I was like, I'm not going to rely on what people are saying. I want to know, and if you are really after us, like you say, then I want to know, and I'm going to be open to it. And I think me being open to it really helped, because I was able to go where God was leading. And a couple years later, I was in seminary and I meet you. And here we are. So, you're absolutely right. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is by coincidence. Everything does happen for a reason.
That's for real, for real.
So I think it's good. We would love to also hear, like, what do y'all think? What is something in our listeners' lives that you want to let go of in this new phase? Talk to us.
Served you then, don't serve you no more.
To keep the conversation going, tell us what you think by following us on Instagram or Twitter at Real Talk on Godtalk.
You're listening to The Moon Reading. The autumn equinox won't arrive until September 22nd. But culturally, at least, here in the US, Labor Day marks the unofficial end of the summer season. And since that's passed, now's a good as time as any to get in sync with the natural cycles of life. It's time for fall. Let's follow what our plant and tree friends do with their leaves and let them go. The word equinox comes from Latin and means equal night, referring to the roughly 12-hour day and 12-hour night that occurs only on the two equinox days of the year. On these special days, we honor the balance and interaction of the light and the dark. This is an ideal time of year to go within and empty out space. Physically, by clearing out some clutter in the home space. Get rid of that hideous blazer you haven't worn for a couple of seasons. And emotionally and energetically, by going within and naming the beliefs, habits, and patterns that do not serve you. A first step in letting them go. It's an opportunity to evaluate our old ways of being and use the energy they hold as fertile soil for new creativity and matured visions. Happy autumn equinox when it comes.
Thank you, Yaya. Always making sure we right around here with the moon reading. So we've wrapped up our first
grand reopening of Real Talk
exactly. So
a podcast for people who skip church for brunch on Sundays.
Exactly. Yeah, y'all. So as always, show us love. Follow us on Instagram at Real Talk on Godtalk, and talk to us. We asked you a couple of questions. We're going to post that on Instagram. And follow us. Let us know what you want us to talk about this season. We are taking all what are we taking? Suggestions,
inquiries, suggestions, whatever you want. Come on, we want to play. You want to play with us? Play with us.
Exactly. Yeah. Any last words?
Love.
I love it. And with that, we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye.
I don't believe in God. I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
keep
it
real and real talk. The God in God